Hi, welcome to week 7, chapter 8 of our course where we are learning about Gestalt therapy, developed by Laura and Fritz Perls. This therapy is based on the word Gestalt, which means the whole. It's about the fact that pictures can have many small parts, but our eye takes them in as a whole. You can see an image below this video. The idea here with this is that Gestalt therapy wants to take in the whole being, that we don't want to forget in our talk therapy about the physical body. So for instance, if someone is talking to me about their boyfriend abusing them, making fun of them, putting them down, and they keep nervously laughing like this, then I might kind of mention that and call that out to them and say, you know, it's kind of interesting when you're talking about really scary and really hard, hurtful things, you tend to laugh. Tell me what that's about. If you weren't laughing, what might you be doing? In instances, sometimes this is where I've seen a client break down and cry, and that defense of physically laughing awkwardly is broken down so that they're actually being true to what they are feeling. Another tool that I've used from Gestalt therapy is the empty chair, and I've both used this as a therapist and I have used it when I was a client and found it helpful in both circumstances. And the idea is that sometimes we can be talking about a relationship, let's say with a parent, and saying, I just don't understand why she keeps being so difficult when she visits, and she's so demanding, and she tells me to do this, and she tells me to do that, and I wish I could strangle her. And it's about maybe taking an object, sometimes it can be a teddy bear, sometimes it just really is an empty chair, and imagining, okay, well, let's picture that your mom's actually sitting there. What would you want to say to her if you really could say what you feel without the barriers that you otherwise have? And the client expresses themselves, and then you can either respond as the parent yourself as a therapist or ask the client to stand up and then sit in that other chair and say, okay, now be your mom. And let's just wonder, what might your mom say back? And you can continue that process, and it helps in a number of ways. I mean, on one hand, it can really help the client to get other person perspective that they might not otherwise have, meaning when they sit in the chair and have to speak as the mom, they might say, well, I just love you so much. I'm just trying to tell you what to do because I really care and I want you to be successful. And suddenly, as they're put in that position, they have an insight of what's going on the other side instead of just seeing it from their perspective. Also, it can just give a lot of relief. When I did the empty chair, it was with an old roommate that I felt had just been ridiculously difficult and never paid their bills on time, didn't seem to care. It just still bothered me years later. It had been 6 years or so since I lived with this person. But in the empty chair, the therapist helped me to express my anger and to not minimize it. I started by saying, I'm so mad at you. And then she said, come on now, Flora, you're smiling kind of, and you barely have any emphasis. You seem to be very mad. I mean, it's been 6 years and it's still on your mind. Say it with some little more intensity and say it a few times, each time a little stronger, a little louder. I'm mad at you. I'm mad at you. And I began to cry, and it really got me in touch with what I truly felt instead of the ways that I tried to minimize and pretend it wasn't a big deal. And then again, when I practiced being in his role and speaking back what he might have said, it gave me empathy and a perspective that realized, God, that's the person that he was, and why am I letting him continue to kind of walk around rent-free in my head over this issue? I just want to let that go and let him be that person he is out in the world somewhere else. I don't have to deal with this anymore. So it was really helpful. Those are some of my insights about Gestalt therapy, and I hope you enjoy the chapter.